My name is Barry Jones. I served from 1969. I went into the Australian SAS Regiment, which is a very elite unit. Served in Vietnam in 1971. I was conscripted, but in a way I was a volunteer conscript. I wanted to spend time in the army, but it wasn't going to be my career. So I spent my 2 years doing national service, but it was at my choice. It's pride to me. I'm quite proud of it. I think I did my bit. I think I held up my end. I tried to achieve everything I could within the army. I wasn't going to go in there to just spend 2 years doing whatever. I wanted to do what I wanted, what I could. So I initially volunteered for the infantry, and they laughed because I said, actually they asked for 3 choices for corps in the army, and I said infantry first, and then they laughed. They said, well, 90% of you guys are going to infantry anyway. So anyway, from there, I did infantry training, or half of it, and I was recommended for the SAS Regiment. So I put my hand up for that. Went through very rigorous training and eventually got through to the regiment in Swanbourne in WA, West Australia. I would have had a very clear mind's eye picture of what to expect, but I think it was blown out of the water. I can't really recall what I was thinking beforehand, but I do vividly recall what I saw in stepping off the plane at Tonsonu. We flew in from WA in a Pan America, believe it or not, our regiment. And we were very well looked after, very well equipped. We landed at Tonsonu Airport in Saigon, and we seen the body bags and being loaded onto transport planes, American, seeing the battle-weary soldiers walking through. It reminded me very much of the movie called Platoon. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the opening scene of that is exact. It's very, very realistic. So that was. I don't really recall what I was expecting before that, but that's what was vividly left in my memory. There were quite a number of moments. We worked in 5-man patrols in extremely remote areas. We gathered intelligence. We were doing the reconnaissance before anybody else went into these areas. They sent us out, 5 of us. And so there were a lot of hairy moments, but probably the worst was the loss of one of our members. And we only lost one in my tour of Vietnam, and we only lost about 3 over the whole period of Vietnam. His name was Brian Richard Jones, and I'm Barry Raymond Jones, 2 BR Joneses, and we happened to be in the same patrol because it was a fighting patrol. His patrol and mine were put into a 10-man fighting patrol, and he was sadly killed. And as it turned out later on, he was born on the 18th of April 1948. I was born on the 18th of April 1949. And that really rang true to me. It was in the papers back here that BR Jones, SAS Regiment, killed in Vietnam. And a lot of people thought it was me, people who knew me and not him. But yeah, sadly it was Brian. Well, it's very stressful. I mean, the whole period was very stressful. Being in a 5-man patrol, very remotely, and tracking, finding the enemy before they found us. We worked covertly. They didn't know we were there. That's what saved us. The insertion and extraction from our patrols was when we were most vulnerable, and that was extremely stressful. So we were wet the whole time, either through rain or sweat, and a lot of that sweat was just the stress. It's hard to say, to be honest. I know, well, my first wife told me when I came back, we were married 2 or 3 weeks before I went to Vietnam. When I came back, she said I'd changed. And I can't see it. I can't see the change myself. Never could, still can't, but I believe it. So I think it may be more sure about achieving something in life. I was a bit of a meanderer before. I wasn't good at school. I hated school. I started part-time studies, pardon me, after school, and wasn't getting very far. But after Vietnam, after the army, I was dead set sure I was going to achieve something for myself. Well, I think it's a real community. I think for service and sacrifice, I think it's very important for all of us. We're all part of a shared community, not just military. I think we've all got a duty to contribute our bit to society, and in the military it's the same. I think it's very rewarding to serve in the military. I don't have any regrets whatsoever. The hard times, the good times, although we do concentrate on the good times, but I think we've all got a duty to contribute what we can. Well, the Anzac spirit is very, very strong for me. I've been very involved with various RSL roles. I had 8 different volunteer roles at one stage, not all RSL, but mostly. So I was involved in the Anzac Day Commemorative Council, so we planned Anzac Day marches in Melbourne. So I was a bit player in that, but it made me a lot more aware of all of the other unit associations that were involved in the march, and it gave me a stronger, I think, sense of belonging, and a stronger sense of just how important Anzac Day was and the Anzac spirit was. It's all about friendship, I think. I'm naturally a loner. I think I am anyway. That's my makeup to a fair degree. But I was sort of encouraged to be more part of the team, the RSL team. You know, the first RSL I joined, and then later on Tramways East Melbourne, and now Camberwell. It's the camaraderie. I know you've heard that term many times before from most of the guys, but it's very true. It's just a nice feeling, and we don't concentrate on the hard times. You know, none of our conversations are about the hard times in Vietnam or anywhere else. We talk about the funny times, the good times. And I think that's a coping mechanism that we've learned to adopt, and it holds us in good stead. It's very rewarding in terms of friendship. They're very close-knit. There's no egos at play. There's no differences between everybody, no matter what you did or who you are and what you want to be. You're all the same. We all have fun together. We can all poke shit at each other, which is normal for ex-service people, and it's just a nice feeling. It's not commercial at all. That's another thing I wanted to get away from commercial RSLs. It's a traditional RSL.